And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST as we have returned. We have returned with our first semifinals match, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the pink Polish Protoss player. It's been so long. I'm glad we're back. Representing Team Blazer, it is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing Team Hyper 1. Living in the land of Japan, it is HonMonO. Let us go. Now, if you're in the chat, place your bets because predictions will soon be open for who you think is going to take this series again, as we do have HonMonO going for a bit of a proxy. Let's go. Oh my god. So again, HonMonO, he's the cheesiest Terran player in all of South Korea. He is very unorthodox, very difficult to keep track of. We've seen a lot of all-ins from him in the past. He was able to take down Geralt last week. He was able to force Krystianer to his knees and force an ace match out of him last week as well, just off of hyper-aggressive styles. But yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case once again here as I quickly try to set up the semifinals predictions. Krystianer, as well as HonMonO. Beautiful. They're open. Lovely. So with this, with a proxy 2-racks, we're going to be committing here to a tech lab. I believe this is going to be proxy marauder out of HonMonO. He's going to be amassing marauders here, going to be going in with a bunker as well, and he's going to be amassing marines to reinforce as well. We have already seen this. We are familiar with this cheese here from HonMonO. We'll see if he can break through into the natural here. I believe he has had success with this in the past. Can he do it again? As there we go. A couple of boys are being pulled as well again. Bunkers, or just help buffer as well, just help soak some of those hits for the marauders. We are committed. We are going to be committed behind this. Krystianer, he's getting into his own gateway, getting into his own cyber core. Pretty standard opener, just going for a gate cyber into expansion. So far, he is none the wiser. He saw the racks back at home. He saw the single gas geyser, but again, he's being lured into a false sense of security here as the army is preparing. We're going in. We're going in, Bobby. We're going in. So we have pulled the trigger. The adept out of position, not back at home. And we should be able to dive on this pylon. Pylon's going to be going down. From here, we can go straight into the main. Yeah, we do dive straight into that main base. Second shield battery is now on the way. We have one stalker to defend, one gateway, one production building. Shield battery, that's a kill on the shield battery. We get to surround the probes. The boys are being pulled. We get to surround on the marauders. Big surround here, and these marauders are going to be going down. Both of them will fall. We're killing a lot of probes, that is true, but can the bunker finish in time? It will not. Krystianer gets here just in the nick of time as well. He shuts down the SCVs, shuts down the bunker. We'll lose 7 probes, but Krystianer is still ahead in workers. There's still one marauder left. Yeah, it's not going to even matter here. Looks like HonMonO is being completely cleaned up. The SCVs fall. We throw down a shield battery, force a cancel on the bunker, and HonMonO is transitioning. Again, maybe a little bit too greedy diving into the main. I mean, I don't blame him. HonMonO, he was pretty all in. He still is. He still is very all in, by the way. Because you know what? How do we transition out of this? We throw down a factory and a 3rd barracks. And we are still making marauders. No CC. That's what I'm pointing out. There is no command center. There is no backup base here for HonMonO. Still one base, still all in. Krystianer, he did survive. Looking at the units lost type here, he lost 8 probes in the process and 1 stalker. But that is more than, I mean, that is more than acceptable here for Krystianer. Still in a good position. Fully saturated as natural. Trying to get saturation here in his main. Probe is going to be going down. Is going to be going down here, and I mean, yeah, we're I was gonna say we're gonna be committed. Yeah, we're doubling down. This time we properly pull the look. It's not a TvP with HonMonO unless we pull the boys at least twice, okay? And this time, this is how you really do it. And here we go. We're sending everything across the map. What do we have to work with? We have 7 Marauders, 1 Cyclone. Again, we're meeting up with the Marauders that were across the map. We have that 1 Cyclone, a handful of Marines as well. It's all or nothing. We have 2 Shield Batteries, but that is an Artosis Pylon. And it's a weakened Artosis Pylon as well, so we could try to focus it down. We could try to shut it down and depower everything in the natural. But now, though, we're slowly working through these shield batteries. First one goes down. We're going for the second. The overcharge is popped, but it's going to be focused down as well. That's so many Marauders and more SCVs arrive. The second wave of SCVs. As we're breaking through the line of shield batteries, we are down to a handful of Stalkers. We still have 1 gateway done. 2 more gateways are on the way, but it may not be enough. As Krystianer, he's being forced further and further back into his own natural base. The Mass Marauder has arrived. We focus down every single Stalker, and HonMonO takes control of the natural. Now we're going straight for the main. We go for the scan. There are force fields. Clutch, very clutch sentries here. The sentries, they can buy time. We have 1 more force field in the chamber, and we're getting extra warp ins. Another shield battery, soon to be an overcharge. A couple of units do make it through, and we're going for the Stalker. Can we get it? We can. 1 Stalker goes down. Big pickup. We have 1 more force field. We just keep warping in, sentry after sentry. And HonMonO, he just wants to push in. He just wants to send it, Papi, but he can't. And we're going back home. No shot. We're going back home. Overcharge is going to be popped. We can focus on one of those Stalkers anyway. Boys are being pulled. But we have made our way up into the high ground. And it looks like we just have far too much DPS. That final Stalker is barely going to go down as well. But these Marauders, they're low. We're running out of steam. We're running out of units. This is getting very scrappy here, as it looks like we will clean up the army of HonMonO. If he didn't pull back these SCVs, we maybe could have broken. Krystianer, I'll be honest. Sentry falls. And as the dust does settle, HonMonO has the better economy. He has the higher worker count. He has mules as well. Krystianer, he does have Blink to work with. To be fair, he has Blink. There's potential. There's a lot of potential with these Stalkers. 3 Stalkers are moving out. Doesn't look like a lot, but there's, again, a lot of micro ability here with these Stalkers. Back at home, HonMonO, full wall, bunker on the way. Marauder production continuing. Likewise across the map as well. We're not quite investing. HonMonO doesn't really have the economy for this. Not yet. I love that we do switch our SCVs over. Bunker's on the way. Oh, no! 2 SCVs go down. Bit of miscontrol there from HonMonO. Another SCV does fall. Good target firing out of Krystianer. 4 dead workers. Just like that, Krystianer ties up the worker count. Very nicely done. There it is. CC's on the way. HonMonO. Now is the time to expand. We need to meet some specific criteria. If we want an expansion out of HonMonO, we need to kill how many workers? We need to kill 34 probes. That's as many workers as both players have combined, by the way. 34 workers were killed. A couple of Stalkers, 9 Stalkers. The base itself, we're floating into the main for a scout. Floating in for a scout. Stalkers are moving out. We're trying to get a read of what's happening. This is really important, actually, because for all he knows, there could be a Dark Shrine. Like, we have a Templar Archives. Like, a Dark Shrine is possible. So, HonMonO is getting a full scout. Soon to be rotating towards that natural to make sure there's not a 1 base all in. Stalkers have arrived. And they're going to be able to chip away at that depot. Up! Oh, depot barely stands strong. We pull a couple of boys, we should be able to repair. We're good. Are going to be able to hold on. If you can't beat your opponent, just coin flip them, Papi. True. Flip them, Papi. As from here, yeah, we're just going to be settling the game down. After a very high octane, very explosive early game, we're expanding. Krystianer taking his natural. HonMonO also taking his natural as well. HonMonO now doing his best Hon macro impression. It's time to macro, Bob. It's time to calm things down, make SCVs. Let's settle into this. And here we go. Krystianer is going to be pushing. Now, as he moves out, he is still teching. You know, we have the robot on the way. We'll see if we invest into an observer or if we go straight into a war prism just to reinforce. Krystianer going to be working on with a lot of sentries here for force fields. Force fields, they could make or break a fight here for Krystianer. Again, he's got blinks. So far, oh, does lose one of those stalkers. A second stalker goes down as well. The marauders, they're going ham. Oh my god, these marauders, they chew through the stalkers. Yeah, the stalkers, they stand no chance. Even with blink, there's only one stalker left. Not even. The final stalker falls. The juggling. Oh my god. The juggling here by HonMonO. He finally loses one of the marauders, but it looks like he should be able to clean this up just barely. It's going to be close. It is going to be close, and he does shut this down. Oh my god. Give HonMonO 3 marauders and a dream, and he can kill an army of stalkers. But here we go. We have some reinforcements on the way. The medevac is out of energy. Oh god. The marauders. Once again, the juggling. One marauder goes down, but here we go. More rise to take its place. So we have reinforcements. Krystianer has to back off. Again, that was meant to be a bit of a kill move from Krystianer. Did overestimate the power of the Stalker. Did have to back off. Third base is being taken. Long distance mining. Likewise, HonMonO also working on a third base as well. We're getting into the mid game. It's happening. We're getting into the mid game, Pop. Tank is in position. Good tank shots. Good tank shots going to be going up. Going to be cooling down some depots, just making sure we break free from the supply block. Ghost Academy's on the way. HonMonO's army is becoming pretty terrifying, actually. With tanks, marauders, soon to be ghosts. At the same time, we have our robotics bay on the way. This should be for Colossus production, for our splash damage. As Krystianer's getting his third base up and running, and HonMonO sees this. HonMonO, he has eyes on this third. He's aware of the saturation. He's aware of the economy. He is aware. Oh my god, as we do catch the stalkers! We were waiting for the blink, we were lying in wait, and almost every stalker goes down. Big pick off there from HonMonO. Oh, going for the scan. With the scan, he also does reveal Colossus. He's aware of the bay, he's aware of the Colossus production. Third base is being taken. We're going to be settling on from here. Now, because we're with the Colossus production, again, Vikings. We have Vikings in production to help deal with that. So we're incorporating Vikings, Ghosts. We're not quite ready for Liberators yet, but that's going to be on the horizon if the game goes on longer. Let's get into those libs. Now, HonMonO is going to be pushing. It's his turn. We're done defending. It's time to move out. Do we pull the boys? No. Do we pull the boys again? No, we're going to be keeping them at home. It's all good. The move out has been spotted by hallucination. Krystianer's getting ready. Has a shield battery. Has an overcharge. Scanner does reveal the army. Yeah, with this one Colossus, I do feel like HonMonO, he thinks better of it. Does size up Krystianer, and he wants none of it, so he will back off. Will retreat in the end. And as he backs off, yeah, the game is settling. You know, we have the armory on the way for 2-2. This armory is late, so 2-2 is pretty heavily delayed, actually. We're a little bit supply blocked as well. Now that we've reached a couple of Colossi, we only have 2 Colossi if I'm not mistaken, so we're getting into really fast Disruptor production. Usually you get into Disruptors once you have 3 Colossi. That's like the sweet spot. That's the ideal number. But we are transitioning a little bit earlier here from Krystianer instead. I mean, he did spot the Vikings, so maybe he's assuming a big commitment into Vikings. So he's already just getting out of Colossi, aware that they're not going to be as useful. We're going for Disruptors, the Novas. And as HonMonO moves out, Zealotrambi moves in. We got Zealots coming in from multiple angles. We have some reinforcements back at home. And we should be able to deal with this, but HonMonO getting overwhelmed. He has to pull some of these boys. SCVs off the mineral line. 4 SCVs, 5 SCVs go down. The Nova goes off. Doesn't connect. God, that was 8 workers going down, and not a big commitment from Krystianer either. Really nice damage from the Protoss. Once again, Nova going to be zoning and back that army. As we do have some pretty good mine shots. Army's going to be stimming forward. The Vikings, they do force back those Colossi. But Krystianer, he pulls back to the overcharge. The Colossi, they survive. These Novas, they have been lackluster. HonMonO taking the supply lead. But a bit overstimmed. Oh my god. As we will have to retreat. And HonMonO respecting the army of Krystianer by quite a lot here. Again, he has to. Does respect it, does pull back. Behind this 4th C, we're getting a 4th! 4th CC's on the way. A couple of mine shots went off. We will clean them up. How many disruptors? 6! 6 disruptors. That's a lot of Novas. Aye. That's a lot of purification of his spot. HonMonO is sharking around, looking for another way in. Does get eyes on the 4th. One of those Widow Mines still alive. Can still get a shot off. On a probe. You have a good concave. The Novas! A late split from HonMonO takes it over to the face. And that may just be too much. More Novas go off, and big connections here on the Bio army. Krystianer still though down in army supply. Oh my god, another Nova. Does connect. That's going to be a denial of the 4th base. Probes are going down. Big connection on the Ghost as well, and Krystianer cleans up HonMonO. A brutal engagement. HonMonO took like 3 Novas to the face. Honestly, if it wasn't for those Novas, look at how small this army left over is for Krystianer. HonMonO, if he was able to just avoid some of them, at least half of them, would have been able to get on top of the Disruptors. That would have been it. That would have almost been game. But really good connections from Krystianer. He's able to hold on, retake his 4th, take a good fight. And Krystianer, he is still in this. Hold on, just waiting. Okay. Beautiful. So HonMonO, he has to back off. Now, HonMonO does have the better economy. He has a faster 4th base. He's on 60 workers plus mules. So even though HonMonO has been having a rough time trading and he has been taking Novas in the face, it's like he likes it, Bob. He likes it. But I should say he can afford it. So HonMonO, he's still up in army supply. He still can pull this off and bring this back. As we do go for a mine drop. Krystianer, he does react in time though. He does pull away. One of those shots goes off. We do get a mine drop into the main, but there's nothing. We're literally out of money in the main. No gas, no minerals. Smoke. As we drop here towards the 3rd. Oh my god! The drag. 8 workers go down. Massive connection at the same time. We come in for a backstab. The drop here on the right-hand side. 17 probes go down. 18 probes. This army is going to be cleaned up. The economy, I mean, HonMonO was already ahead economically. Now getting further ahead. The Widow Mines, they're not done. Waddling up into the main. Ooh. So Widow Mines are going to go down. From here, Krystianer, he is struggling to hold on. Has been struggling, and yeah, now he's committed. He has to move out. Now, what do we have left to work with? We have 4 disruptors. We had some amazing connections earlier. We did have some really good connections. Could we pull that off again? Is that possible? Never mind, there's going to be connecting. The HonMonO rotating over towards the right-hand side. And keep up with the movement here. There we goes off. Good connection here on the Wooden Wines. Not too bad. But HonMonO is maxing out. He's working on +3. Ship weapons. Ghosts as well. And Krystianer forced the pullback. And once again, Krystianer just doesn't have the supply. He can't split up in time. We go for a dive. Nova goes off. We can focus it down. And HonMonO is going to be able to shut down the base, shut down the robos as well. At the same time, we do have a bit of a Zealot run, but we have a planetary in position. We take down the robos. Good splits this time against those Novas, and it looks like HonMonO, he just has too much. Snowballing out of control. GG is going to be called here, and HonMonO, after a long, grueling game, takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. HonMonO will take the first game here after a wild one as well. Initially, the proxy failed. Remember, initially, Krystianer did hold. He did hold against the proxy marauder of HonMonO. He shut down the SCVs. He lost a minimal amount of probes. Things were looking manageable. Things were looking very manageable for Krystianer. And he wasn't expecting his opponent to double down. He wasn't expecting the second wave, the second all-in behind it. Then the third all-in behind it. Just kept going. It just kept on going. And over time, Krystianer was battered down and down even further, and eventually the game did kind of stabilize in a way, but we saw that HonMonO denying the 4th base was really what set him apart here. With the late 4th, HonMonO was able to take an economic lead and just run with it for the entire game, constantly ahead there, and did snowball into a win. And now we're getting to game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the pink Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan representing Team Hyper One. It is HonMonO. The range on that mine, I know, right? Like, it was brutal. The Widow mine at the 3rd base where we killed 8 probes. I think it was 7 because 1 had died earlier to the previous mine connection in the natural. But yeah, the drag there was brutal, and you know, Krystianer was being pulled apart. It was right after that where we had a drop at the 4th base, if you recall, and HonMonO was just able to cripple the economy of Krystianer, the economy that he was already behind in. But now we're getting into our next game, and this time we're going for an eBay block. Let's go. So HonMonO, he slips out across the map, going for the eBay here on the low ground. This is very common in this matchup nowadays, and the goal here is to force the unnatural natural. We should be going for a Rax back at home into a factory off of 1 gas, a delayed CC. With that factory, we can get into faster cyclone production or helium production, and we can then get into these mineral lines. Oh boy. Now, this usually forces out Stargate play. I'm curious if that's going to be the case after the Cybercore. But yeah, Krystianer, because of the eBay, because of the late scouting of the eBay, it's already done. Like, it's already got too much HP. We cannot waste time killing this engineering bay because it would delay the expansion for too long. So Krystianer forced to expand here at the linear 3rd base location. A very awkward expansion because we do cancel that eBay, and HonMonO can take advantage of it. There's that factory we were talking about. Now, usually it's a factory with a reactor, with a reactor on the racks, and then we go for an add-on swap. So no add-on swap with this opener from HonMonO. Interesting. We should be still working towards Cyclones and Hellions though, and the goal is going to be to try to pull apart the Protoss player, to try to get into a mineral line and kill workers. I mentioned before, usually it's a Stargate opener. The reason why we see a Stargate typically in this position is because these bases are so far apart. So things like Phoenixes and Oracles, they help defend these bases just because they avoid like the ground terrain, right? They avoid the map. They can dip back and forth as quickly as possible to defend against aggression. And that is true against Hellions, but the problem is that that's also why Cyclone follow-ups have been quite common here and have been rising in popularity, because we expect to see Phoenixes and Oracles. And there it is, Cyclones are on the way. Now the probe does confirm this. The probe dips in, the probe sees the timing of the CC, sees that the factory is already done, and Krystianer, he knows that something is coming. Whether it's Hellions or Cyclones, Krystianer is still in the dark, but again, he's just hoping that he can defend. Unfortunately, again, against Cyclones, these air units are going to have a hard time defending. Not impossible, but just hard. Again, it is quite tricky to keep up with the Cyclones, especially this early on. There it is. Cyclones and Hellions are on the way. We're amassing an army. We're getting ready to push. Adept does get eyes on the Cyclones. Big scout. Backing off. Shield battery is done here at the natural. We should be getting a shield battery in the main as well. We should be getting a shield battery in both bases, just so we're, just because we don't know where the army is going to be hitting. And we are pushing. And we'll see if HonMonO can make some magic happen here. We'll see if he can kill some of those probes. Adept makes it into the mineral line. We do focus down one of those SCVs. But again, with this shield battery finishing up, we have an overcharge as well. Krystianer, he should be able to protect his base. He should be able to defend. Big should. Let's go HonMonO, land of the uwu. Land of the ay. No, how do the animes do it? I'm not gonna try. But here we go. We have Cyclones here distracting the main army. Cyclones almost go down. At the same time, the Hellions, they dive right for that natural base. Stasis trap up. Stasis trap will go off. It takes 3 hits to one shot of probe, but we do get a big volley off. 4 workers go down. And these Hellions, they are soon about to break free from that stasis, but we're in position. And a good defense. Good defense here. Really smart to have the stasis trap, to be honest. That stasis trap was big brain. To shut this down, we activate the pulsar beam. Ooh. We're going to lose 1 extra probe, but Krystianer cleans this up. This could have been disastrous. This could have been a dead mineral line, 100%. Could have been just a straight up dead mineral line. So again, good defense here so far from our pink Protoss. We're taking our 3rd base and we're probing up. Krystianer still maintaining his worker lead. We live, we survive. We're getting into the mid game. We're getting into a stable 2-base setup here from HonMonO. Now we have a 3-1-1 setup. What does that mean? Delayed starport. The starport is heavily delayed. Oh, as the Oracle's trying to dip in. 1 goes down, but the starport is heavily delayed. It's delayed because we're prioritizing tank production and marine production. Now, this typically means we will still get the starport and we will push with the medevac timing. But we can see HonMonO, he's pushing before the medevacs. This is very offbeat. This is a very off-tempo push from HonMonO. The boys are being pulled. It's a 2-base all-in. And we do get eyes on this. The Oracle comes in and we should take note of the lack of SCVs, the lack of army as well. Krystianer is getting ready back at home. The Stalkers are getting on top of the ramp. Shield batteries are on the way. Is this too late? Blink. There is no blink. Now there's no, oh, there is a stim, never mind. There is a stim available, but there are no medevacs, so we have to preserve those stims. We cannot waste it. We cannot stim prematurely. The Immortal has arrived. We're going for the tanks. Oh, but the tank volleys are just a little bit too strong, a little bit too good. The SCVs, they get on top of the units here. The Immortal goes down, and that may just be it. HonMonO snowballing out of control. He shuts down the shield battery, shuts down the pylon. The army is overstimmed. But the tanks, that's what matters. Since we get on top of the tech, we get on top of the production. Twilight Council is going to be going down. Gateway as well. We throw down a missile turret just in case there are Phoenixes. We do see Krystianer recalling to his natural. Speaking of Phoenixes, they're out. Turret not done yet. Up. Turret is not done yet. but it will finish up. Colossus taking too many hits. No, the Colossus. Phoenix goes out, the Colossus as well. GG, nice builds, and HonMonO will take the 2-0. Again, a very offbeat all-in there, not waiting for the typical medevac timing, hitting a little bit sooner with all the SCVs as well. GG, HonMonO takes the 2-0. GG, and you know, I like to think there's a little bit of sincerity behind what Krystianer said, because the reality is no one else plays quite like HonMonO. He comes up with his own builds, his own play styles. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And yeah, it's just a very chaotic player. Very chaotic. I would say in a head-to-head fight, in a standard game, if we were able to get up to 2-3 base economy, you know, standard play styles, Krystianer would be the favorite player. I would say that Krystianer, he is the favorite player here in this series against HonMonO, but you don't get a standard game against HonMonO. You don't get a standard game, you don't get standard builds, and it's just very uncomfortable playing against him. You just, yeah, you're just offbeat, and yeah, it can be quite difficult, but regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to HonMonO for advancing on to the grand finals, and we are soon to find out who faces HonMonO in those finals. Who's it gonna be? Up next, Nice versus Night Phoenix. Let's go. The PvP is upon us.